Hello guys, welcome to the HTML crash course for beginners. In this video, we will learn about HTML anchor element. My name is Kafui and welcome to my channel mods.dev. Please subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I release a content on the channel. With that said, let's get started. In HTML, we use the anchor element to create hyperlinks. So in order to create a link or a hyperlink in HTML, we use the anchor tags. So the anchor tags goes like this. So in HTML, this is the anchor tag. So I just have an H1 here, which to just as a heading as for this video. So this is HTML anchor element. So don't pay attention to this heading. So this is what HTML anchor tag. So in between the opening and closing tag, we put in our link text. So in this example, I want to create a link to what? The Google web page. So I'll just go ahead and write here Google. So when I save, you see it in our browser as well as Google. So, but right now it doesn't show as a link. So how does the browser read this link text as what? A hyperlink or a link in HTML. That's when the HTML anchor tag takes what? The href attribute. The href attribute stands for hypertext reference. The value, so I'll go to the open tag and write href. So I'll just write href and then press enter for auto completion. The value provided to the href is a URL or address you want to navigate to when the link is clicked. So what the value we provide here is the address that this link will take. So whenever a user click on this link, the browser will navigate to that link. So let's say I want to go to Google homepage. So I'll just go ahead and write https://www.google.com and save. So upon saving that, you see that now the link has been displayed differently with an underline on it. So this is what? A link in HTML. So when I hover over it, when you see the bottom over here, so when I hover over it, the bottom left corner of the browser, you see the address or the URL at the bottom over there. And then when I click on it, it opens what? Or it takes me, or it navigates to what? The Google web page. So this is how we can declare a link or define a hyperlink in what? HTML. So one thing you should note is that what? The href value here can be in single quotes or double quotes. When I go ahead and change this to single quotes and then I save, it does the same thing, but since I have a settings that I prefer double quotes in HTML over single quotes. But one thing is it should always be in what? Quotes, whether double or single quotes. So when I remove the quotes here, I don't get error, but when I save, Prettier here gives me an error. So Prettier has run a linter on our code and see that we are violating a rule here. And when I hover over this, so we should always make sure we put the attributes, the value to attributes in what? In quotation. So I prefer what? Double quotes over single quotes. And you see, as I provided the quotes, Prettier is now what? Happy. Now the address we provide or the URL we provide to the anchor tag can be remote, which means the address is not part of your website. So you see that this Google URL here is not part of our website. So when I click on it, it takes me to what? The Google web page. So that is what we refer to as what? A remote address. So it will take us to what? A different what? Web page or a different website. Secondarily, the address can be a local address, which means it links to a page that's part of our website. So let me just demonstrate to you. I'll go to my file explorer here and create another HTML file called about.html. So this will be about my about page. And then I'll just put an H1 here and say about page and save. And then put a lorem ipsum text here just to show difference. So this is what? The about page. So how do I link to this about page in my website? So I'll just go ahead and define another anchor tag. And over here, I'll write about. The URL will be what? About.html. So you have to bring the .html. You can see I even got auto completion. About.html. And then in the link text will be what? About page, or I'll just say about. and then save. So when I save that, you see it. Let me just comment this one out quickly, or I'll just put a BR or line break tag here to put it on the next line. Good. So we have this about page here, the about link over here. So when I hover over it, at the bottom left, you see the URL being displayed over there. The bottom left corner, you see the URL displayed there. When I click on it, it takes us to what? Our about page. So this is how we can define local links in our HTML page. Or better still, I can create a folder. Let me say I'll just go ahead and create a folder and say this is the contact folder. So in the contact folder, I'll put in my contact.html and then go ahead, just some dummy. Yeah, I'll put in an h1 and say contact page and then a paragraph lorem 20 and save, just to generate 20 random words. So how do I link this? So you know that this contact page is in what? A different directory. It is not in the root directory. So how do I link to it? So I'll just come here. So let's go back to our home page. So I'll just put another BR line break here, and then I'll define another link. And this one, since it's in a different directory, I have to go into what? The contact directory, and then go into what? The contact.html. So I'm linking to, or I'm going upwards to what? From my HTML directory, I'll go into the contact folder or the contact directory, and then the contact.html, and I'll just write here contact and save. So when I go ahead and click on this link, you see that it takes us to what? The contact page. So this is how we can define remote and local links in our HTML. Now you can the link attribute, the link can also take an attribute called the title attribute. Now, so on our link or on our anchor tag, we can put in an attribute called what? The title attribute. The title attribute provides more information about the link in the form of a tooltip when you hover over the link. So I'll just go ahead and demonstrate that to you. So let's say on this, let me go back to the home page. So on this link here, the about link, I'll just put in the title attribute and same issue, and I'll just say about page here. So when I save that and go into my browser and I just mouse over the about page link, you see that tooltip appearing there, about page. So just to give a more detail about what the link does, so on this Google link, I'll just go ahead and put a title there and say Google home page and save. So when I go ahead and then hover over it, I see a tooltip of what? Google home page. Now, one other attribute that the link, the anchor tag can take is the target attribute. So I'll just go ahead and put the target attribute on the contact link or the contact anchor element. Now, what the target attribute does is it specifies where to display the linked URL. So this can be in the same browser window or a different browser tab. So what this means is that when you put in, so I'll just go ahead and put in the target attribute here. This will tell the browser where to open this link. So the default one is whenever I click on this link here, it opens in the same browser window. So the target over here, I can put underscore of what? Blank. And when I put this attribute value here to the target attribute, when I click on the contact page, it will open in a different browser window. So you see that it opened in a different browser window and I still have my home page here. But when I open this Google link here, it opens in this same browser window. So I can go to the Google link here and put in the target attribute of what? Blank. So you can see the auto completion. We have blank, we have parent, we have self. I think self is by default, which you open in the same browser window. We have what? Underscore top here. So you can play with them. So I'll just use blank here for this example again. So when I click on this Google link, it opens in what? A different browser tab or a different browser window. So that's all for this video. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section for discussion. Please subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I release a content on the channel. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.